So conversion of units refers to the process of changing a quantity expressed in one unit of measurement into an equivalent quantity expressed in another unit of measurement. And this is typically done by multiplying or dividing the original value by a conversion factor, which is a ratio that expresses the relationship between the two units. And here we have a table of some conversion factors: length, time, and mass. So let's read them out. 1 kilometer is a unit of length, and this kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. This we have known before as well, because kilo is a prefix which is equal to 1000 times the base unit, and 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. So the conversion factor is that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters and 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. So if I'm going to convert a kilometer into meters, then I would use this conversion factor, which is that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. Say for example, I have 50 kilometers here and I want to convert it into meters. So what I would simply do is multiply or divide the original value by the conversion factor. Now the rule for conversion is that if it is a big unit than the unit we are going to convert it into, then we would multiply the original value with the conversion factor. But if it is a smaller unit than the unit we are going to convert it into, then we divide the original value by the conversion factor. So if we are converting meters into kilometers, then I would divide. But if I am converting kilometers into meters, then I would multiply. So what I would do is multiply 50 by 1000 in order to get the answer, because the conversion factor is 1000. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So if I'm converting a kilometer into meters, I would simply multiply 50 by 1000, and what I get is 50,000 meters. Okay, in the same way, if we are converting meters into millimeters, then we would again multiply the original value in meters by 1000, because the conversion factor is 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. So I would multiply the original value by 1000 in order to get the answer in millimeters. But now, say for example, I want to convert 50 kilometers into millimeters. Then what I'm going to do? If we are converting a base unit into a different unit, then it's very simple. We just multiply or divide with the conversion factor. But if we are converting a given unit which is not a base unit into a different kind of unit which is also not a base unit, then what we do is that there are two stages involved in this type of conversion. The first stage is to convert the given value in kilometers into meters. First, into meters. This is the first stage. When we convert the kilometers into meters, then we convert the meters into millimeters. So this is the difference between converting base units into a given value or given value into its base unit, or converting a different kind of unit into again a different unit, not a base unit. So for that, we first convert whatever the original value is, we convert it back into its base unit first, and then convert the base unit into the desired unit. So say for example, I have 50 kilometers and I want to convert it into millimeters. So I first convert the kilometers, 50 kilometers, into meters. So 50 kilometers into meters is how much? We just took it out just a minute ago. It is 50,000 meters. Now I would convert this meters into millimeters. And for doing that, I again apply the conversion factor, which is 1000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. So I would again multiply 50,000 meters with 1000 in order to find the answer in millimeters. So 50,000 multiplied by 1000 is 50 million millimeters. So how do we write it? 50, comma, 3 zeros, comma, and 3 zeros again. Now that's a big answer. Of course, if we convert 50 kilometers into millimeters, then it would be a big answer, because millimeters is very small. Now we can see that 50 kilometers are equal to 50 million millimeters. In the same way, if we are converting kilometers into micrometers, we first convert the kilometers into meters this way, and then convert the meters into micrometers. What is the conversion factor for micrometer? This is the conversion factor. 1 million micrometers are equal to 1 meter. So then what we do is multiply again, because we're converting a bigger unit into a smaller one. So we multiply 50,000 by 1 million to find the answer in micrometers. Now say for example I have millimeters here and I want to convert these millimeters into micrometer. Then again, because I'm not converting it into a base unit or a base unit into a desired unit, so I have two different types of units, millimeters into micrometers. None of them is the base unit. So if I'm converting millimeters into micrometers, I would first need to convert millimeters into meters and then convert the meters into micrometer. Now, the conversion factor of millimeters and meter is 1000. 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. So I would I would divide the millimeters by 1000 to get the answer in meters, because millimeter is smaller than the meter. So it's a smaller unit compared to the meter. So for converting smaller units into bigger ones, we divide. So I would divide 50 by 1000 to find the answer in meters first. And my answer is 0.05 meters. So 50 millimeters are equal to 0.05 meters. Now I'm going to convert these meters into micrometers. So the conversion factor for meters and micrometers is that 1 million micrometers are equal to 1 meter. Now because I'm converting a bigger unit into a smaller one, I would multiply. Before, millimeters was smaller than meters, so I divided. But now meters is bigger than micrometers, so I'm going to multiply. So 0.05 multiplied by 1 million is equal to 50,000 micrometers. So this is how we converted millimeters into micrometers. So it's just so simple. We have to just multiply with the conversion factor. Multiply or divide with the conversion factor. But if I'm converting the given unit into a smaller unit, smaller than the given unit, then I would multiply. And if I'm converting a small unit into a bigger one, then I would divide. So I have a conversion that doesn't involve base units at all. Say for example, millimeters into micrometers is a conversion, or kilometers into millimeters, or kilometers into micrometers. There are a lot of pairs we can make which doesn't involve the base unit. Then I would simply do the conversion in 2 steps. The first step is to convert the given unit into its base unit first, and the second step is to convert that base unit into the desired unit. So there are 2 stages involved in this. So for conversion, we have to remember the base units as well. So we have to remember the base unit of time in order to convert a unit into a different unit. So if I'm converting minutes into hours, I should know the base unit, because I would first have to convert minute into the base unit and then convert the base unit into hours. So minute is not the base unit. Neither is hour the base unit of time. The base unit of time is the second. So for converting a minute into an hour, I would first have to convert the minute into seconds and then convert the seconds into hours, just in 2 steps. But if I'm converting a minute into seconds or an hour into seconds, then I would simply just put the conversion factor and do it. There's no 2 steps. In the same way of mass, for example, I'm converting kilograms into milligrams. For that, I would first have to convert the kilograms into grams. Okay, this is kind of confusing because the base unit of mass is not grams, it is kilograms. So this kind of can get confusing, but in conversion, we take gram as the base unit of mass. But when we read the base units, the base unit of mass is the kilograms. So you should just remember that in conversion, the base unit of mass apparently is grams. But in actual, kilograms is the base unit of mass. These are certain things that we have to just memorize to make it simple. So this is what conversion is.